Hello, this is Angela Bennett from Advice Resolutions, and today the instalment discussion here is we're going to talk about whether or not the duty lawyers, the advocates in the Scottish courts and tribunal system, should in actual fact be representing clients, any number of clients, even though they have showed intolerance to people of colour. Now, I'm saying this because in one particular instance, I'm standing here in front of the Jedburgh Sheriff Court here, and we understand there is a matter in which one of the advocates in the Jedburgh Sheriff Court has taken such offence to being told, apparently, that a black person, a person of colour, does not accept that they should be treated with indignity, and therefore they make a protected act disclosure, protected act mention about racism and discrimination. Well, it's clearly an ability to be able to do this because the law allows this. You should be able to say that you don't like racism, you don't like discrimination, and you won't tolerate it. So here we are trying to figure out, why would it be that the Jedburgh Sheriff Court allows a person to do duty solicitor work when clearly the person that's representing their court system has victimised a person of colour, a global majority person, a black person, in terms of the fact that they said that they don't agree with racism and discrimination. They should actually say that we as a court don't tolerate any racism and discrimination. We follow the equality laws, the Equality Act 2010, Section 149, and therefore we're going to have to dispense with the services of this particular person. The reason why this particular person is allowed to stay in their position, we believe, is because they've been bolstered by the court system. So the court system will say to them, well, we accept that that's your view and we're happy to keep that going. Well, that's not correct. The court system are supposed to say, we don't tolerate your behaviour. This is not what the court system is about. The court system is about fairness, justice, and non-discriminatory behaviour. But instead, it's the opposite. This particular lawyer is still left to practice in this court as a person who's covering duty, so that when someone with a criminal matter wants defence services, they are there to defend them. But you'll notice that that is not the case in the matter of a person of colour. A person of colour has been told by this particular lawyer, advocate, that I'm not representing you because you complain about racism and discrimination. Well, you should be able to, without any discrimination and any victimisation. And clearly that hasn't happened in this case. So what does that mean? This particular lawyer company seems to have the monopoly on the district of the Scottish borders, which means that in essence that if they don't take your case, then it's very unlikely you're not going to get your case dealt with in a very quick time. You're not going to have access to justice, and in fact you may not have any access to justice because there'll be hardly any other lawyer that's going to be able to take on your case. So what they've done is they've closed off all avenues, in actual fact, maybe directly or indirectly, for you to get access to justice, because if they're the only lawyers in the district, it's hardly likely you're going to get a lawyer to defend your corner. And so the court permeates this. The court allows this to happen. The court is part of the problem and not the solution. And the particular lawyer, advocate, is permitted to do exactly what they're not supposed to do. So the answer to this is, as I clearly said at the beginning, is the court has to take a stand. They must decide which side they're on. Either they're on the side of the lawyer, the advocate that's discriminatory and being racist, or is the court on the side of the person that should have justice, access to justice, and there should be compliance of laws? Well, there clearly isn't compliance of laws, because we understand that this particular lawyer, advocate, is still practicing, and the court has showed their true allegiance to racism and discrimination. This is the Jedburgh Sheriff Court, by the way, who's supposed to be acting legally and not illegally, because remember, a lawbreaker can't be a lawmaker, and that's very clear. We decided that a long time ago, and we always keep to that, and we always understand that's the way it's supposed to be. So the answer is, at the very end of the day, is for the Scottish courts and tribunal system to take a stand and to dismiss this particular lawyer. Or in other words, sack them, tell them that they're not going to be tolerated, because their evidence is there. There is evidence to suggest that this particular lawyer did say to the black defendant, person of colour, global majority, that we're not defending you because you complain about racism. The evidence is there, the paperwork is there, so there's no contention about that. And let's wait to see whether or not this case wins through, whether or not indeed that the Legal Aid Board, who actually are perhaps paying this particular lawyer to be in this court, will actually take up this case and see that there is an issue to be tried here in terms of the illegality of refusing a black person access to justice and criminal defence services. And we'll keep you informed and stay tuned for the next instalment. Goodbye.